Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Goddess Guidance. It is me, your goddess, Hestia Aphrodite, the voice from the divine realm. If you are new to this channel, please be sure to like and subscribe so that I can know and that our community can know. Please let it out. Let it out, no matter if you have to cry it out, scream it out, shout it out, punch it out on a punching bag, though. Let it out, let it out, let it out, please, because your healing is dependent upon you releasing that energy from your body, temple, and vessel. If you can hear my voice right now, you probably can hear that I just woke up. I just woke up, and last night was a challenging night for me. Last night was a challenging night for me because I was carrying mourning in my spirit. Mourning so many things and so many people. Because when you decide to walk on this path of ascension and divinity and higher learning and spiritual growth and spiritual awakening, you have to be willing to set boundaries with so many things. Boundaries with yourself, boundaries with your vices, boundaries with the parts of you that you prefer to hide, your shadow. But you also have to set boundaries with people. And sometimes those boundaries that you set with people look like walking away from those people while still forgiving those people and no longer sharing you and your beauty and your divinity and your gifts with people because of the ways in which they have harmed you. Because we are on a mission to keep ourselves safe and peaceful. And when you do that, it hurts because you wish you could change circumstances. You wish you can change people. You wish you can have a conversation with someone and say, hey, you hurt my feelings and I don't like the way that you did that. And I would prefer it for things to be done a little bit differently, just to honor me and respect me the way I honor and respect you. And you just hope that miraculously, right? Because it seems like such a simple request: honor, dignity, respect. It seems like such a simple request, but unfortunately, some people can't honor us. They can't honor me. They cannot honor you. They don't have the capacity because of their psycho-spiritual ailments. Somewhere in their mind, it is so embedded that you are nothing, that they are so much better than you. Their ego has convinced them of their own grandiosity. Therefore, they can't look at you as another human being who deserves honor and cherishing and dignity. No, because you're nothing. You're an object to them. You exist in their world for their use and disposal whenever they desire it. So with people like that, who you just want to honor you as a human being, humanity, when you realize that they can't do it, the best thing for you to do is to walk away. Because they're dangerous and they're harmful. And you have to set boundaries. And in setting boundaries, you have to mourn your relationship with that person. You have to mourn the person that you thought they were. You have to become comfortable with the person that they are. And you have to mourn all the expectations and hopes and desires and even past understandings of what that relationship was. You now have to mourn it. And yesterday I was in a deep space of mourning for so much and so many. And the cry that I cried, I mean, it was ugly. It was ugly, that cry. Oh, and I felt it from like a couple of days ago. Like I knew it was coming. Rather, I knew it was coming for a couple of weeks. It was a dream that I had. And when I woke up from that dream, I said, oh, that's a cry. I don't ever want to cry. And here we are a couple of weeks later. And I had to give myself permission to cry that ugly, gut-wrenching, snot out the nose tears. I had to cry it. I had to let go. Because if I did not let go, that energy would have stayed in my body. It would have stayed stored. And some can argue from a spiritual perspective, when you have energy and negative energy stored into the body that is never released, it ends up becoming an ailment in some way, shape, or form. And I did not want to cry this cry. It wasn't my preference to cry this cry. Absolutely not. It was absolutely not my preference to cry this cry, because I knew how painful it was going to be. The same way you might not want to cry that cry. You may not want to have that scream at the top of your lungs. You may not want to go to that fitness session where you can punch that punching bag and knock it out. We may not want to do it because of the pain it will release in us. But I promise you, the next day you will wake up with relief. You will wake up lighter. You will be restored. You will be renewed because you let it go. And it takes courage. It takes the frequency of courage. And the frequency of courage is right above that frequency of pride. And that is the difference between the third dimension and the fourth dimension. That is the difference between heaven and hell. Pride and courage. Because when you have pride, when there is pride, and you know you must do, but you are not willing to do because of pride, you stay stuck. And pride cometh before the fall. It always does. And the fall is nothing but shame. And shame is way, 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 way low on the frequency chart. Way low. Okay? So have enough courage. Have enough courage to release that emotion in a healthy way, though. Because we can release emotion. We could do some damage. We could drink. We can drink. We can knock back a couple of bottles of wine. Right? We can go out to the club, turn up, lit. Hey, it's a time. We could call up that person that we think is very attractive or not even attractive. We can just call up that person who we know will be down for a session and release. And then what? And then what? And then what? You got to do it again tomorrow. And then you got to do it again 2 times that next day. And then 3 times that following day. And then 5 times that following month. And then now your day is consumed with addiction. You are now an addict of some shape or form because you refuse to release. And no shame there. I'm not shaming you because I understand how difficult it is to release. I understand in a healthy way. I understand how difficult it may be to cry. I understand how difficult it may be to scream. I understand how difficult it may be to sign yourself up for that fitness class or that activity where you can mash something up. I understand because that takes courage. That takes something new. That takes you getting past and moving past your pride and going into another dimension and frequency. And how hard is that? Because you don't know what's on the other side of that. You don't know the parts of you you don't know the part of you that release that energy. You don't know if you're even going to survive it. But I promise you will. I promise you will. There is beauty on the other side of that scream. There is beauty on the other side of that cry. There is beauty on the other side of you mashing that thing up. And by thing, I mean like, a punching bag, not a person. Please don't do that. Please. Because now if you do that, now we have a whole nother issue. You have a whole nother issue. So just so the people don't confuse my words, because the people live to turn everything I say upside down. But it's okay. Cool. Keep being in the comments. I live for it though, because I love the energy. Thank you. Right. But to get back on track, release it in a healthy way, not a dysfunctional way, not in a way that's going to keep you bound, keep your addiction bound, and then keep you bound to the most lowest version of you. Ascension is the goal. Ascension is the key. And I know it's hard though. I know it's hard. And even for someone who is actively on my spiritual journey and actively on my healing journey, so much so that I'm pursuing a career in healing in many different ways, right? It's still very challenging for me to face my own traumas and my own energy and release it. So I'm no better than you. I'm no better than you, and I will never pretend to be. We are in this together. Together. Until next time, everyone. Bye-bye.